What's going on, hikers? In today's video, I'm going to give you 5 things that I wish I knew before I ever went on my first backpacking trip. If you're new to the channel, my name is Jeremiah Stringer, and here we talk about all things hiking and backpacking. We give you info, tips, tricks, hacks, and more, and in some videos we take you out on the adventure with us. So let's get into it. I started backpacking, and like anybody who starts something new, you make mistakes. So the first thing that I wish I knew before I ever started backpacking is you don't need one of those giant Rambo knives whenever you're out on trail. Now I just use a simple little pocket knife that I hook on the strap of my backpack. Hey, those Rambo knives are completely unnecessary. And they're super heavy, and typically the only thing that you're going to be cutting while you're out backpacking is cheese, like blocks of cheese, not like what you're thinking, and also string, okay, just like nylon string or cordage. Okay, so you don't need a giant Rambo knife. Okay, secondly, I went out and I bought some waterproof boots. They're Merrell boots, they're quality boots, but they got that Gore-Tex coating. And the second thing I wish that I knew was waterproof boots are not for me. Okay, after hiking in them, actually getting them wet, I figured out that once they're wet, they stay wet. Okay, it takes days for those things to even dry out at my house. So I'll wear them out every once in a while. Like if we're having a rainy day just around where I live, but I never wear them hiking because once they're wet, they stay wet. And if you watch one of our most recent videos, I reviewed the Ultra Lone Peak 4.0s. That is the trail shoe that I switched to. Okay, third thing is I always bring a jacket with me now. It only took a couple of times for me to figure this out. Some mornings, so I'll go to bed and I'll be sweating, I'll be laying on top of my sleeping bag, but then I get up the next morning and I start to crawl out of that tent, crawl out of that sleeping bag, and I figure out pretty quick that it's cold. Okay, the sun's just starting to come up. Even in early fall or late summer, I can get up and I'll be cold. So each one of my backpacking trips, no matter what the weather forecast is, I'm going to bring a jacket with me. Okay. Fourth, speaking of sleeping bags, as I was growing up, you go to like friends' house and stuff, and you'd sleep in a sleeping bag and just lay there on the floor. Then I started backpacking, and I figured out pretty quick that the synthetic sleeping bags, they are really bulky. They take up a ton of room in my backpack, and they are a little bit heavier than the alternative. So that alternative being, I switched to a down sleeping bag, and I'll link in the description below if I can, if it's still available. I'll link in the description the sleeping bag that I now use during warm weather backpacking. It's a down sleeping bag. I think it's rated for 40 degrees if I remember right, and it is so much lighter and it's just so compact. Okay, so number 4 is those synthetic sleeping bags. I wish I had discovered down a long time ago. Hey, number 5. This one is super important because it's really what changed my life. So whenever I went out on this backpacking trip, I figured out that my life is just full of distractions. And I didn't even realize it until I spent days where all I had to do is take care of my basic needs. Okay, I needed food, I needed water, I needed shelter. And what was great is I had some friends along with me, so that also gave me some companionship. Number 5 is I wish that I had known how refreshing it would be to just go out and live outside, even if it's for a few days at a time, or heck, even if you can live out there, for 6 months doing a long distance hike. I wish I'd known how refreshing it is, because we live in such a synthetic world. And I don't mean to be negative here, but it just you're constantly getting texts, emails, notifications from different things, and there's just things that need your attention. But whenever all you got to do is take care of those basic needs, man, it feels good to not have to worry about everything, just escape. Okay, so that's number 5. Guys, if you found any value in this video, or if you enjoyed, make sure you smash that like button and you subscribe for more and kick that bell for the latest notifications. We'll see you guys in the next video.